us today for our October boot camp. I feel like we just did our last October boot camp, so time is flying. Excited to have you guys on here with us today because the stuff that you work on right now is the stuff that is going to make a big difference in 2024. So great agents right now are preparing for 2024, and we're going to cover so much stuff today to help you in your business. I like to start and preface every program by saying I can already see we have a mix of agents on the program, many layer agents, but also we always make this program open to agents of any firm. And I promise that even if you're not a layer agent, you're going to get as much out of today's program as any of our layer agents. We're going to go through tons of tools, marketing pieces, set it and forget it marketing programs, etc. Before I get started, I want to remind everybody, knowledge is not power, execution is power. So it's super important that you have a piece of paper with you. We're going to cover so much stuff. Your goal today is to write down 5 items that you're going to go execute on after today's program. So there's going to be lots of things. Don't worry, by the way, where we post this right to our YouTube as soon as we're done with the program. So you'll want to go over to YouTube if you can right now. Go to youtube.com/layer training. Be careful because we have 2 different YouTube accounts. You want to go to youtube.com/layer training, LAER, and subscribe to our station. That way, whenever we add new content, which is literally every week, you don't miss anything. It'll just send you an email notification that a new training program has been uploaded. But especially for today's program, once this gets uploaded, usually this afternoon, you'll get a ping. That way you can go execute on the 5 items and then come back later and pick another 5 items that you're going to go execute on. Cannot stress enough, the execution is where it counts. The stuff that you go and execute on after you leave today's program are the things that are going to have a massive impact for you in 2024. So let's get started. What we are looking at right now is the Layer Program and Services Guide. This is our brand new version. We do go through and update our guide every 6 months or so, just to make sure that we have all the best tools, training, technology. If you're not a layer agent, if you've never seen this, you can go download a copy, because a lot of the links that we're going to share today, which are good for any real estate agent of any firm, a lot of the links that we're going to share today are embedded in this program guide. To download it, we'll have Sergio share it right in the chat box so you can click over. But it's Layer Realty, LAER realty.com/success tools. When you get there, you're going to see this guide. If you scroll to the very bottom of that page, you'll find a PDF version of it. In fact, if you're near a printer, not a bad idea just to print it out and take notes right in the booklet as you go through today's program. But if you're not near a printer, no big deal. Just make sure you do have something to write on so you can write down those 5 items that you're going to go execute on. So let's dig into the program guide. So first of all, the way this is set up, technically, this is a guide that we share with our agents all the time because it is all the tools available to help agents build a great business. The first few pages of the guide just talk about our cultural values. Just to give you guys a little background on who Layer Realty is and why we have the lion on everything and why it's incorporated into our logo. We're an independent real estate company. In fact, we have a little page here about our independence. We're an independent real estate brokerage and proud of it. We're almost 10 years old. We'll be 10 years old in April of 2024. And our goal is to help agents live their best life and their best business possible. So I said to help agents live their best life and their best business possible. I didn't say layer agents. That means we've opened up everything in our brokerage, and you'll see that as you go through today's program, from the marketing, etc., so that any agents can participate in it. Quick story about where our name came from. For the first 14 years of owning a brokerage, I was with a large franchise. I left that franchise in 2014 to start Layer Realty as an independent real estate company. When I started it, I hired a branding agency, and I said, our goal is to go out and recruit talented real estate agents, and also just grow talented real estate agents in our marketplace. And the branding agency said, what is a talented real estate look like? And I said, talented real estate agents are strong. They're negotiators of difficult terrain, just meaning that if you look at the highest performing real estate agents, those agents are really good at overcoming obstacles. And third, we said the most talented real estate agents are true protectors of their clients. They're not focused on the money first. They're focused on helping people. And in the end, they end up doing really well in their business because they're focused properly. So at the time, the branding agency said, go put those words into a Google search: strong, protector, negotiator, and just see what comes up when you search those words. And at that time, almost 10 years ago, it's exactly what we did. And a lion came up in our search. It was the first page. There was all these lion websites. So we said, that's it. We're going to build our brand around the lions of real estate. Lions in the jungle live in layers. In the real estate industry, the lions of real estate are typically attracted to our business model at Layer. We changed the spelling of Layer because ours is the mirror image of real, since we are in the real estate business. I tell people, sometimes you see statues in front of a walkway or on somebody's front steps. That is because that lion that guards that walkway or those steps, those lions are a symbol of protection for the home. We look at it that there's a new symbol of protection for real estate across New England and Florida and beyond, and that is our Layer for Sale sign. So we're 10 years old. We help about 4,000 buyers, sellers, and renters a year. We have close to 800 real estate agents in New England and Florida. And like I said, growing beyond that. Fiercely independent. I think it matters who you work for. I think independent is a state of mind. It's thinking outside of the box. It is not going with the flow of things or going with what everybody else is doing. It's thinking different. So we are fiercely independent at our brokerage, which is why we do things so different, which is why we have lots of agents on here today that are not Layer agents. And like I said, I promise you're going to get as much out of today's program as any of our Layer agents. So that's a little bit about our independence. As I mentioned, the first few pages of this program guide just go through our cultural values. I always say to agents when shopping for a brokerage, just make sure your values align with the values of the brokerage that you're with, so that you will be there for a long time. From there on in, this guide is all set up to help you in your business. And we're going to spend a lot of time on it, all these different segments of your business through the next few hours. And one of the big areas that agents need assistance with is marketing and branding. Now, let's be super clear how we think about our business at Layer. Our belief is that the brand in real estate is the individual real estate agent. In other words, the consumer, for the most part, is not choosing to, they're not calling Layer, they're not calling Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, EXP. They're calling an individual who they know, like, and trust. So the real estate agent is the center of the transaction. They are the branding. So what do you need a real estate brokerage for? The brokerage is the support network. The brokerage is the place you call when you need help with something. They're the ones that help you create the systems, the marketing, help you get your name out there. So that's why a big piece, in fact, with our new program and services guide, that's why if you haven't been on if you've been on a boot camp in the last 6 months, you'll know this is our brand new guide because we've reorganized it, and we reorganized it in a way that we think we've put the stuff that matters most to agents first. So we're going to dig right into marketing and branding, and you're going to get so much content over the next hour, so much stuff over the next hour, from presentations to marketing pieces. And this is for everybody, layer agents and non-layer agents alike. You're going to walk away with tens of thousands of dollars worth of amazing materials to go grow your business for 2024. So many of you guys are noticing a shift in the marketplace. So all this stuff is going to matter even more as we go into a new and different market for the new year. So this is a page that you're going to want to bookmark. And this is the page that has thousands and thousands of dollars worth of resources for real estate agents. And that's why we've put it first in our Success Tools guide. It's why we're going to cover it first in today's program, because for many of you, the 5 things that you're going to go execute on after you leave today's program are all right here. So let's dig in to Layer Agent Services. By the way, if you've downloaded the PDF version of this Layer Program and Services Guide, which you can download at layerrealty.com/success tools. Sergio put it in the chat for you guys. If you go download this guide, when you get to that page, scroll to the very bottom and you can download the PDF. Anytime you see something underlined, because there's hundreds and hundreds of places that are underlined throughout this whole booklet, that's a hyperlink to more information. So it's designed, we wanted each page to represent a tool, a training, a technology, or a service, and that agents could just click on it to get to where they need to go, or to go take a tutorial to find out how to use whatever they're looking at within the guide. So right there on page 7, the first tool is our Layer Agent Services. So I'm going to take you guys over to our Layer Agent Services dashboard. Now, because we have lots of agents on here today that are not layer agents, I want to preface it by saying this site is not password protected, and we've done that on purpose. We said from the beginning when we started the brokerage, our goal is to help our agents. We're here to grow talented real estate agents. That's all agents in our marketplace. So everything on here, if you're a layer agent, wonderful. If you're a layer agent, even better, because you'll get additional support for some of these things. But as far as the marketing pieces and the presentations, the listing presentations, buyer presentations, pre-listing packages, it's all here, and you can go in and download it. Any real estate agent can go in and start utilizing these tools for their business. So we have organized this right at the very top. We always have our most recent agents who've joined. By the way, I think I just saw you, Pauline, is on today's program. There might be some other ones on here as well, but I happen to see Pauline is one of our participants today. Just going through quickly. I don't think there's any others from our brand new agents. So welcome, Pauline. Okay, so let's take a look at all the resources. As you scroll down, we have it organized in different places, little houses for you to go visit, little homes for you to go see, because each home here that we have represents a different tool or training or technology. So right at the top, we have resources for agents that recently joined our firm. So for example, if you click the program and services guide, you're going to go back to that booklet, which we're going to head back to a little bit later. But you'll go see our program and services guide. We have a section of frequently asked questions. So you guys know we have our Happy Agent team that is always available to answer questions. But if you're looking for something quick, you can head over to our frequently asked questions. And then under the Tell the World section, we've pre-designed some letters and marketing, social media marketing pieces, stuff like that. So you can dig in and start sharing that you're with our brokerage. But let's go down a little further to the marketing, branding, and presentations. This stuff is awesome. The first section here is guides, presentations, brochures. I believe there's like $10,000 worth of marketing pieces for great real estate agents to use right here. Guides, presentations, and brochures. Let's click on it and take a look at some of the stuff we have. We kind of just throw everything. By the way, it has a little search tool. So if you're looking for something in particular, you can go up and just type in what you're looking for and see if it's in there. But let me go through. So first of all, any of you that have done, for example, the Algorand class that we offer, you know that I'm a big proponent of agents having buyer packages, listing packages, and investor packages all made up once a year, like 20 of each made up. And then you can refill your bins as you give them out. But for example, a buyer package would have a guide to buying a house. So like a booklet about the process of buying a house. It would have a one-pager, like a flyer, just like this right here, the home buying process monopoly board. So this is just a little one-pager template of the home buying process that you can print on paper. So you've probably already seen everything in our company is built off of Canva. So what you're clicking on here is Canva templates. We give you all of our Canva templates here, and nothing is locked on these. That means you can go in, change out the photo, change out the logo, the phone number, your name. But we've done all the work. Our marketing team has gone in and created hundreds of pieces for you. So let's get back to your buyer package. So we have, by the way, in case you've never used Canva, I'll just give a quick rundown. Canva is a marketing program. And it's made for regular people. You don't need a marketing degree. For many years, our company used like Adobe for building our marketing pieces. What the bad thing about Adobe is that, like, to understand it, as you have to go take classes on it and stuff. Canva is for anyone. So you don't have to be intimidated by Canva at all. It's for a layman. So we build out all these templates. You click on them, you change them out. What you need to know about the templates is as soon as you open it in your Canva account, it's yours. It's no longer the one that you clicked on. So you can go in and make changes, and the next person that clicks on our link is not going to see those changes because now it's gone into your Canva account. Canva is free, although they have an upgraded version of it for, I think, $12.95 per month. I am a huge proponent of buying. I firmly believe every real estate agent should pay for the upgraded Canva, which is $12.95 per month. It gives you tons of stock images to use and stuff. And I'll show you why that matters in a second. But you can use all of our stuff, even with the free version. There's a couple caveats to that, and I'll show you an example in a second. Anyways, let's go back to having a buyer package. What would you put in a buyer package? I think you should put this home buying process monopoly board. I think you should have your trusted vendor list. So we have a template here that you can go in and update. I also think you should have, maybe if you do a lot of business in one very local area, you create a little locals guide to that area. These are really cool for your open houses as well. So let's say you have an open house in West Palm Beach, for example, to put like your 10 favorite things that you love to visit in West Palm Beach: a farmer's market, a restaurant, a boutique, your favorite coffee shop. So this is all customizable. I think these are awesome for open houses, but also for your buyer packages. Let's see what else I would put in my buyer package. There's a great buyer. Here it is. There's a buyer questionnaire. So I would put that in my buyer package. All of these you can customize, so you could take out anything you don't want to use. The other thing I would put in my buyer package is this guide to buying a house. So this is like a 13 or 14 page booklet about the process of buying a house. All of this you can customize. You can take out and change photos, logos, contact information, etc. But this is the stuff that makes you look like a professional. So you want to go in, you can update any of it. Like if you don't like this article, you can go change the article and write your own article. So this is the buyer guide. I want to just go back to the paid versus the free version of Canva really quick. The difference between the free version and the Canva version, there's a few differences. The biggest difference is with the paid version, you get millions of stock images to use. So for example, this is, let's say that you go into our buyer guide and you are using the free Canva. You have the free Canva, but all of our stuff is in the paid Canva because we like having lots of stock images. The free version, by the way, has stock images. It's just not as many to choose from. We want to have as many stock images to choose from. So you can, let's say you have the free version of Canva, you open one of our marketing pieces, and as you go through it, you notice a few of the pictures have X's across them. That is because you have a free version of Canva and we have the paid version of Canva. So you can't use those stock images because you're not using the upgraded version of Canva. Couple ways around that. Number one, you could just delete the image and upload your own image. So you could stick with the free Canva. It's just sometimes you're going to have to upload a new photo so you don't have that X across your photo. As well, you could just sign up for the paid version of Canva. When I recommend to real estate agents that you buy something, I weigh on ever saying that. It's super rare for me to say that it's always a good idea to buy something, because I know our industry can be expensive, but this is one of those things I do think you should buy. It's $12.95 a month. And I think we're marketers. That's what we do. So I think that you should have the best tool for marketing properties, etc. So huge fan of that. And this is the buyer guide. So like I said, it's 16 pages total. You can add or delete whatever you want. You can change photos. You can do whatever you want. That is this is like a key piece to that buyer package. So you'd have a nice folder and you'd have everything I just said, the Monopoly board that shows the process, your buyer's guide, your locals guide to the area, your buyer questionnaire, and your vendor partner list. All of that goes in. I want to just give you guys a sneak peek of something we're adding that I think will be a phenomenal tool. So something that we're adding, it's just going through the final process of grammar and spell checks, but I think it's going to be really cool and really important. So one of the challenges, just in speaking with real estate agents all the time, is Zillow. I'm not a huge fan of Zillow. I think that they are not great for our industry. That being said, I do know agents do buy Zillow leads. So if you're a huge proponent of Zillow, this is not something you probably want to use. But if you're like me and you don't love Zillow, we need to educate our clients better, both buyers and sellers, about the truth about Zillow. So this is a marketing piece that we're in the process of adding to our marketing section, so that you can help better educate buyers and sellers the truth about Zillow. So let me just show you what we talk about in here. It's for both buyers and sellers, and it's just like a 3-page flyer. The first part just talks about Zillow actually doesn't have a lot of search functionality when you get right down to it. You can search for, so the reason this is so important, I was having a conversation with an agent just recently, and she sold a $4.3 million property that just closed, one of the Lair agents. And I was asking her, is working with a $4.3 million client any different for you? Because she normally sells $400,000 and $500,000 houses. And I said, did you find any difference? And she said, actually, no. She said, my biggest challenge was that they kept going back to Zillow and then calling the agent on Zillow. And I had to say to them, like, I went through, she said, I did my client presentation multiple times to say, let's use my technology. And she's like, I really had to educate the buyer to keep them from always going back to Zillow. So we have to be better about educating the client on it. So number one, the search functionality is super limited. So we put in here like all the things you cannot search on Zillow, but you can search on other sites. Like people cannot search a certain school district. You can't search by like the type of house. Let's say somebody wants like a colonial or Tudor or Cape. You can't search by beach rights, hardwood floors, lot size. If it's a fixer-upper, you can't do a search by oceanfront or walkability. So this explains, like, you could search certain things, price range. Secondly, the listings on Zillow are often out of date and very inaccurate. How many of us as real estate agents have had a client go on to Zillow, they fall in love, I found the house of my dreams, and then you go to call the listing agent that's been under agreement for 4 days. So now somebody's been let down because Zillow had inaccurate information. Third, you're likely not contacting the listing agent. Most buyers think that when they call on a Zillow lead, they're actually speaking to the agent who is in the know about this property, which is the listing agent. We know that's not true. The listing agent is, unless the listing agent's paying Zillow, they're not getting the lead on that property. And then let's talk about the agents. I make it very clear in this document, there are definitely good agents that pay for Zillow leads, 100%, but there are equally a lot of bad agents on Zillow. So when a consumer is just calling on Zillow, they're getting the luck of the draw. Maybe they'll get a great agent, maybe they won't. And then the last part of this is, of course, the Zestimates. So this document is a guide to really help a consumer, buyers and sellers alike, understand why they should actually vet a real estate agent first. And then the technology that we have access to as real estate agents is actually better than Zillow. So I have them all. By the way, I say to consumers here, if you sign up for Zillow, you are going to get inundated with phone calls from real estate agents, because the purpose of the Zillow site is to sell your information to somebody, multiple people, usually real estate agents and mortgage people. So they're going to get inundated with phone calls. They're going to get 1,000 emails a day. when as real estate agents, if they just stick with us, we could put them into our technology, which has better search capability. They're not going to get inundated by mortgage people and real estate agents trying to sell stuff. It's just good information. So, and then at the end, I also put a letter from me. I've put this into our company magazine. I've done some advertising on newspapers where I take out a full page ad. And for me, it's just like a heartfelt letter to a consumer. It's not selling them Lair. It's just selling them like how to find a good agent. Like, what are the signs somebody's a great agent? So this is a new piece that's going to be added to our the Lair Program and Services Guide. I'm sorry, to the Lair Agent Services next week. And the reason I'm telling you that is I think it belongs in both your buyer and seller packages. I think we have to be better as real estate agents talking about Zillow, because I think they are eating away at our industry. And I understand some agents love Zillow, that it is a lead platform, but in the old days, before there was a Zillow, agents got paid a lot more money. They weren't paying massive referral fees. And let's not forget that without us, without the real estate community, without our syndication, Zillow has no business. So that's getting added here. Let's go back to the seller booklet. I said every real estate agent. So if you're listening, I said it today's at the start of the program. You should have 5 things that you're going to go execute on between now and let's say the next 30 days, because the stuff you do now is going to have a massive impact for next year. So one of the things I feel you should be executing on, if you don't have it already, is you should have a buyer package, a seller package, and an investor package. So you're always ready for business. You meet somebody at Starbucks and you hear them talking about a house. Anytime, for at least for women, I can only speak for women, but I will tell you every time I go to the hair salon, it is so rare that a conversation around me does not start, and they don't know that even who I am and that I am in real estate. I always hear real estate conversations. So I think you go to get your haircut, you have your packages with you. So you can say, hey, by the way, here's a package on the stuff that I do. By the way, if you're a Lair agent, we also have it's here somewhere, a Lair brochure. Because I do think it's a good idea to have a brochure about your company. And you, if you have one, like a brochure about you. I don't know if I'm just missing it, Sergio, or if we removed it because we're updating.
I think if you scroll all the way down, there's a see more button. If not, it should. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, so there's even more stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think for Lair agents, you should have, you'll see there's tons and tons of stuff on here. Oh, a marketing plan, that should go in your seller package. Oh, here's the Lair brochure. So if you're a Lair agent, that Lair brochure should go into all of your packages. Next, your seller packages. What do you put in your seller package? So in the base of each of your packages is the buyer guide, the seller guide, and the guide to investing in real estate. If you guys are calling expireds, we also have a wonderful expired booklet. So you could also make expired packages as well. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. It's in here somewhere. Oh, the expired listing packet. So that's a booklet for people that have already had their house on the market and it didn't sell. The reasons why it might not have sold and what the person can do to get it sold. So let's go to the seller package. What would you include in the seller package? Number one, the seller guide. So again, even if you're not a Lair agent, you can change out the logos on this, but all the work is done for you. We have 2 front pages on this, so you could decide what kind of front page you like. This is 100% customizable. Whatever you want, you can customize. This is a 15-page guide to everything that a seller should know about selling a property. What else would I put in my seller guide? Some of this stuff will repeat over and over. I would put this utility information checklist in my seller guide because it's it's like information that you want to collect that you could pass on to the buyer, like town water, town sewer, electric company, stuff like that. I also would put this in my seller package. This is like a list of inclusions, exclusions, stuff that they would want to include if they sold the property. I'd put that in my seller guide. If you're a Lair agent, we do 7 days of free advertising for you on Boost. So pay-per-click advertising, anytime you list a property, we automatically pay for 7 days of pay-per-click advertising. I would put that in a flyer that explains that into my seller package. We also have that monopoly board for the selling process. So I put that little booklet. So you have like a pretty comprehensive seller package just with the few things that I just mentioned. So you got to go in and customize. We've done literally all the work. So it should take you no more than about 5 minutes to customize any of these pieces. Let's see, a couple other things I might include in a seller package. Definitely the vendor list. I might include my locals guide, like my favorite things to do in that local area that I would put in my seller guide. Let's see if there's anything else. We do have a listing presentation there as well. That's like a presentation when you go on the listing appointment. You might want to put a sample just listed flyer in there and put their actual house on it. That's about it. But you guys can go in here and kind of play around and pick and choose stuff. I also mentioned it's a good idea to have an investor package if you're doing some business with investors. I'd make it very similar to my buyer and seller packages, but you're also going to include the real estate investing booklet we created. So this is a guide for investors. So this is like an 11-page guide to being an investor and what the process is of investing in real estate. It's 100% customizable. All this is in Canva. So I hope you guys stay on for the remaining 2 hours, because this right here is just so much content. But the one thing I would say out of here is that as you get ready for 2024, all of that was just under the first link of our Lair Agent Services. So that's under guides, presentations, brochures, which is under marketing, branding, and presentations. There's literally thousands of dollars worth of information in there for your business. Next, I'm going to have Sergio on in a few minutes just to talk about social media and stuff. If you're a Lair agent, we do all of the social media for you. So there's no reason that you would have to create your own social media stuff. But if you want to go in, so every Monday at Lair, you should be receiving a text message of all of your social media pieces for that week. It's 10 to 14 social media pieces for the week for you to pick and choose. We text them to you so that you can just share them right from your phone. So you're sitting at an appointment, just waiting. You now have your 10 to 14 pieces. You can share right to Facebook. We've written all the copy for you. But you can go here as well and just look. So you'll see each month. This is the ones that just came out this past Monday. At the start of every month, we give you some new Facebook covers and stuff like that to work off of. But then we also give you Instagram stories, Facebook stories, and posts. So I just want to point out, when you get those texts, you can go here as well and grab them, and they change every single week so that you always have fresh new content. But you just go here. We've done all the work for you. We give you the image. So here's one right here. We give you the image, but also we write all the copy for you. So you don't have to, one of the reasons, when we originally launched this, we just did the images. And then we saw that we didn't have as high of an adoption as we thought we were going to. And in speaking with our agents, they said, well, I don't know what to say when I post it. So now we actually write everything. We give you the tags. So you literally just post it. You cut and paste all this info, share the photo, and then cut and paste, and you're done. So Sergio will go over that in a few minutes. If you're a layer agent and you have a special marketing request, as you guys know, we do most of it without you having to ask for it. So you get a new listing, you do not have to ask us for marketing pieces. Our team will send you your concierge marketing bundle within 24 hours of the listing going live. But let's just say that you have a special marketing request. You can just head over here and request whatever you want. So for example, some of the stuff I see come through is an agent might have a question because they're advertising in something. They put an ad in like a newspaper and they want us to design the piece. All of the requests go there. We don't charge anything. Our marketing team will hop on it as soon as you put your request through. There's a button here for open house resources. Couple things. Most of this any agent can use. Right at the top, there's a couple things that are just for layer agents. All that is if you need open house coverage for one of your listings, we have lots of agents that have a ton of inventory, and then we also have agents that don't have inventory and they would like the open houses. If you need open house coverage, click this button, fill out a form, and an email goes out to the agents in the layer offices that you select, saying that there's an open house opportunity. Same if you're doing a broker open house. If you're doing a broker open house, we want your fellow layer agents to show up. So there's a form that you fill out here. If you click on broker open house, it's going to just ask you some questions about your open house, and it will then send out an email notification to the agents that you select. This is just taking a minute to, the form's taking a minute. Let me go to the other one and see if that one. So here's the open house. Yeah, it's interesting. I think because they're just loading a lot of information for the forms, they're taking a minute, and I have a million windows open. So it's taking a second. So I'll let those load and I'll go back and you can look at them in a second. We also have open house sign-in sheets, welcome signs for your open house. These signs are also great. Because we have like interior signs. So if there's stuff around your open house, you want to just let people know about. So sometimes if you have a very crowded open house, you might want to make sure people are taking their shoes off, or maybe you want to let people highlight like something in a particular room that you want people to notice. So we created these little signs for you to put around the open house. That's still loading for some reason, Sergio. I don't know if there's something wrong with those forms.
They're loading fine for me.
Oh, they are? Okay, it's just my slow internet. Okay. We have feedback surveys. Like these are just a different type of open house feedback. If you want, maybe you have a property that's a little overpriced and you need some feedback from consumers or other agents. Let's see, we also have some cool open house marketing pieces. We love these little tags you could do. Thanks for popping in tags. So you can give away a little item of value at your open house, such as microwave popcorn bags. And then down at the bottom, always a good idea to have stuff for activities for kids at your open house. So we have a whole bunch of different activities for kids. So little coloring things, word searches, print these out, have them at your open house so that if people come in and they have children, you want to keep them occupied so the other family members can go look at the property. You've got that open house covered. Yeah, I think I can't open it. It's just my computer, probably a pop-up issue or something on the open house requests. Okay, so all of that is under the open house section of Lair Agent Services. So open house resources. We also have been having a big focus on commercial resources because the market is shifting. For our company, our numbers are down by about 12% from last year. And the expectation across the industry is that most brokerages and most real estate agents were going to see a 30% decrease in business this year, as opposed to their numbers last year. So we're always looking for ways to help agents go fill that 30%. One of the ways that we've been working on doing that is by bringing in commercial real estate resources, commercial classes, commercial marketing pieces. We do have a commercial group that meets regularly just to talk about commercial real estate. We have a commercial Facebook page. So we do have, under the marketing section, just a whole section on commercial real estate. And like I said, it's kind of new for us. We're still growing in that section, but there's some awesome resources in there. Specifically, like there's a really nice commercial listing presentation / booklet. If you're going on a commercial appointment, you can feel really proud that you have a nice book to bring with you. We have a section here called signs, apparel, and print marketing. Lots of stuff under here. First of all, if you're newer to Lair, you can go in and order Lair signs and clothes, apparel. But if you scroll to the very bottom of this page, there's some really good resources. So you'll want to take out your pens right now. I already said one of the things I think you should write down on the 5 things that you're going to execute on is having those buyer, seller, investor packages all ready for January 2024. So that when you go to your hair salon and you hear somebody talking about buying or selling or investing in real estate, you have a killer package. The second thing I'm going to tell you to invest in, if you don't have this already, I'll show you a few things that I think are really cool. When we put something on here, on our Lair Agent Services here, first of all, just so you know, we're not making money on these companies. We have no reason to promote any of these companies other than they really help real estate agents. So that's why we have them here. Number 1 is MLS Mailings. So MLS Mailings is a company that hooks to your MLS. So oftentimes as real estate agents, you want to send just listed, just sold postcards. By the way, I'm going to do a 20-second something you should not do in your real estate business, especially if you've been in the business for like 20 plus years, like I have. 20 plus years ago, it was very common to see real estate agents doing their own mailers, like printing out labels, even going to Staples and getting postcard stock and printing postcards on their copy machines and then hand addressing. You should never, 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 never do that. There are so many companies that can do all of that for a fraction of the cost and the time that it will cost you to do it. They're going to put out a better product than you can, and it leaves you free to go work on other things. MLS Mailings is one of these companies. They do just listed, just sold postcards. So as soon as you hook it up, you set it up once, you put in your name, your logo, your information, and then you tell the system how many postcards do you want to send each time you list or sell a house. Then it's set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about, oh, I forgot to send out my postcards on this transaction, because it's going to all happen for you. Here's the pricing on it, just so you guys know. It's not super expensive. So I think send out 200 every time you list or sell a house. You're going to be spending around $200 every time you list and sell, because you want to send out 200 when you list it, 200 when you sell it. But I would send these out every time. And if you set it up so that it pulls from your MLS, you don't even have to think about it. It's going to create the postcard automatically for you, and it's done. Anytime in the business that you can find a set it and forget it system, you got to take it. because it's the only
Is
way to
that
scale.
neighborhood specific, Stacy, that the
Say
sends
that?
go to? Is it neighborhood specific? Like if I send 200 postcards, it goes to the neighborhood that I'm selling the
Correct.
property, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so you pick the number, but if it's 100, for example, I want 100 of them to go out, it's the direct radius of the house. The other one that I love is Personal Marketing Co. Personal Marketing Company, tpmco.com. They have a product. Let me see if I can find it for you quickly. I always get confused which one to pick. This is it. Okay, it's under automated marketing. I think this is a killer deal. One of the things that often happens when we sell a house is, I won't say everybody, but the National Association of Realtors would say that there's statistics that say many real estate agents no longer follow up with a customer after they've sold them a house. This program is, I think, a phenomenal, you can use it for other things, by the way, but at least for after closing follow-up. Every time you close on a property for $25, one-time fee, a one-time fee of $25, including postage, this company will send 21 mailings over 5 years. So you put your photo, your contact information, and they automatically just send stuff to the house of your client for the next 5 years. I think that is a phenomenal value. And the reason I know about the program is I know agents who over time have grown good businesses, and it's because they stay in touch with people, and their number one system for staying in touch with people is TPMCO, the Personal Marketing Company. So in addition to having your buyer, seller, and investor packages, I think number 2 and 3 on your list should be MLS mailings. So always doing just listed, just sold postcards, and the Personal Marketing Company. Many of our agents in Florida use RSP data-driven marketing. I'm not super familiar with it, but according to them, it does something similar to MLS mailings. The other two I want to just mention is Wise Pelican. Wise Pelican is great if you're doing any other type of mailing. So you want to do a neighborhood mailing for free CMA, or sometimes if you already have your database. So there's 2 different things you can do when you're working with Wise Pelican. You can create, they have thousands of designs for you to choose from, and you can create your own. You can either upload your database. So if you have your past customer database with names and addresses, you can just upload it, or you can create a mailing based on the geography. So you could just pick a neighborhood and circle it, and then your mailing goes out. This is why I say it never makes sense for an agent to spend like 5 hours going into an office printing postcards and addressing them, because you can do that on Wise Pelican. It'll take you 5 hours minimum to print it and print your labels, and the hassle of dealing with a copy machine and sitting in the office. When one of these companies can do all that in 15 minutes, you can have your entire mailing already set to go out. So very big fan of Wise Pelican. And also Yellow Letters Complete is another one. I've used Yellow Letters Complete. Specifically, what I love them for, let's say that you want to, for holiday cards, send a handwritten note to 300 of your closest past customers and friends and family. And you don't want to spend 2 weeks handwriting 300 personal note cards. Yellow Letters Complete will do that for you. They will handwrite. They give you 2 options. Number one, you can do like an AI generated handwriting that will print and it'll look like it's handwritten, or they actually have human beings that will write your 300 handwritten cards and send them out for you. These these little marketing things are absolutely priceless. These are game changing because like I said, as you grow your business, you can't be sitting in an office addressing, and also you can't ignore the stuff. You can't ignore doing the marketing stuff and the follow-up campaigns. So anytime you can find a set it and forget it system for your business, you have to raise your hand and say yes. Okay, so let's go back to our layer agent services. That was under signs, apparel, and print marketing. Next, if you're a layer agent, technically anybody could use this. There's two different types of newsletters that agents use in their businesses. One type of newsletter is the e-newsletter that goes out every single month, just to staying in contact, set it and forget it. The other type of newsletter is something that you mail out. So, or maybe you don't want to mail it, you just want to print it so that you can have them at open houses, for example, or to put into your buyer and seller packages. This is our marketing team every month writes a Roar report. So if you want to have a nice printed newsletter, this is not great for an e-newsletter. We have another system for that. This is really for a printed newsletter. You can open this in Canva in either a standard or tabloid. If you open it in tabloid, that means you're going to need 11 by 17 paper. Or you can just do standard paper, but we write this newsletter for you each month. It's a 4-page newsletter and it's meant for you to customize, like put your name, contact information, leave them at open houses. Here's a couple things our agents do. Some of our agents will interview their favorite vendors once a month, and then the vendor, leave it at the vendor's place. So you go interview your favorite pizza shop, and then you ask the pizza shop if you could leave this newsletter at the pizza shop. Same with some agents mail them to their sphere of influence. By the way, Yellow Letters Complete will mail these for you. So you can get it all ready, so it's the way you like it, and send it to Yellow Letters Complete, and they will mail it to your database. But sometimes agents have like mortgage or title companies that sponsor the mailing for them. So they'll change out, you can change out any piece of this. You can change out articles and put your favorite sponsor or vendor in here. So this is just a nice monthly, this changes every month. Nice little newsletter to send out to a sphere or just to have for marketing at an open house. All kinds of logos and images here. Like layer logos, we have all different types of layer logos. So you can go in here and find those. And then here is our seasonal pop-by tags. Many of our best agents are out visiting clients or past clients and friends and family all the time, and we don't want them to go empty-handed. So we have all these awesome little pop-by tags that we've created in Canva for literally every season. So let's just look at some of the fall season. We have pumpkin and spice. This is just cute little, you print these out on paper, cut them out and tie them to, for example, this one's a pumpkin spice. So bring something pumpkin and spice, maybe October, like pumpkin spice coffee, little thing, package of coffee, or go to any food store right now and half the aisles are pumpkin spice, from popcorn to muffins. So that's your little tag. Or maybe you want to bring them pumpkins. So you could actually just drop off a little pumpkin at their house, and there's some tags for you to print out, or jack-o'-lantern carving kits for the kids. We have a little jack-o'-lantern carving kit tags for you to put on the carving kits. So that is all under the seasonal, the pop-by tag section of our marketing section. So we've just finished, we're 1 hour in, we've just finished the marketing, branding, and presentation section. Hopefully you guys already have a few things you're going to go execute on. And we're just getting started. things, if you scroll down a little bit further, there's a few other things that I want to point out to you guys before I bring on some other guests to speak. First, we have classes, meetings, and coaching. This is a whole huge, super robust agent growth and development section. At a minimum, I said at the beginning of the program today, at a minimum, go to youtube.com/layer training and subscribe so you don't miss any of our training classes. But every week we do all kinds of live training. And you can, if you're subscribed to our YouTube station, when we put the recorded version of that training up, you'll just get a little notification. Under here, we also have our business planning and growth tools. So a couple things to know. First, when it comes to business growth guides, we wrote this year our Algorand system. This is a guide to adding an additional 30 transactions a year to your business. You can download the whole book here, but it gives you step-by-step instructions to getting your first 30 transactions a year. It is a series of 7 checklists. It's a very easy system, but it is a growth system for your business. We also have a more typical real estate agent business plan. So if you don't want a growth system, but you just want a plan to work off of, this is like a 40-page business plan that you can print out. Any of these systems, the growth guide, the business plan, and we have another version of the business plan I'll show you in a second. These are awesome if you're running a team. Just to get your team together as we conclude the year, get your team together for a session where you're covering something, either a growth system or a business planning session, to find out where their heads are at, where your agents' heads are at, and help them plan for a successful next year. We have this, the third one is also a business planning guide. It's a different type of business planning guide because it really focuses on where agents sit right now, where they see themselves being 12 months from now, and then how they're going to fill the gaps between who they are currently and who they wish to be 12 months from now. So it's a different type of business plan. So those are 3 different tools. By the way, if you're a layer agent too, we'll cover this a little bit when we go through our growth systems. I'll go into it a little further, but we have a phenomenal coaching program too. I'm going to cover tools a lot more closely in the coming parts of the book, but since we have him here, just want to show you guys, we're one of the only companies in the country that has a chief sustainability officer. So we do have a segment of our company that really focuses on sustainability, and we have the #1 guru in all of the country on sustainability is our Chief Sustainability Officer, Craig Foley. He's super well known, National Association of Realtors, you name it. But we've been building out this tool section for our agents who are really engaged in sustainability. And since we're talking about it, why don't we invite Craig Foley, our Sustainability Officer, on to speak for a few minutes to agents about sustainability in real estate.
Thanks, Stacy. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I think one of the things that we need to transition kind of a cultural shift with is the fact now that this is more than a niche. This is a really active part of business. And in fact, National Association of Realtors, Stacy, is looking at a rewrite for Article 11 of our Code of Ethics. Article 11 is the knowledge and competence requirements. So typically, if there's a code violation in Article 11, it's because of, you know, a residential real estate agent is called out because they're listing commercial and they haven't had any training like the training that we're providing, right? It's a knowledge and competence issue. And there is a movement now to change Article 11 that would, you know, add specific language, residential and commercial buildings with significant high performance features would be highlighted under Article 11. So what does that mean? It means that if you don't have some level of knowledge and competence in this area, that you could get called out as a code violation. And the requirements would be either refer that business over to somebody that is knowledgeable and competent. A green designated agent would be a great example of that. Partner with a green designated agent on a listing with that. Or you have to, if you don't do either one of those two things, you have to say to the seller, look, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this. You should hire somebody else. That's the, you don't say hell, obviously, but that's the language in Article 11, kind of a short version of it. So there's a lot of movement to make this happen quickly. And I'm going to just go to a little quick deck here. And take you through some of the work that we've been doing over the last couple of years at Laird. Just some information about what I've done. I've been involved with both the GSEs and NAR to advance this stuff. The work that's happened at National Association of Realtors, particularly over the last 5 years, to look seriously and deeply at this intersection of real estate and sustainability is really pretty exciting. I'm so damn proud to be a realtor, I can't tell you. And part of the reason why Laird's making this decision, Stacy's made this decision to engage not only our staff and agents, but consumers in this place, is because we're seeing growing amounts of data. This particular one comes from the Shelton Group, who's a worldwide market leader in sustainable consulting and engagement with S&P 500 companies. Suzanne Shelton is saying 74% of U.S. consumers are making purchasing decisions based on a company's environmental reputation. So in very few real estate agencies up until now, we've been a real leader, but now we've seen eXp jump into this. I know a brokerage in Austin, Texas now that has a chief sustainability officer. We're starting to see an expansion and awareness that there's an opportunity to engage consumers in a way that real estate companies have not traditionally done. And as Stacy said, I am very proud of being a member of this team and the fact that we've really been a leader in this. And I think we have to make a shift here. This comes from a website called the Green Building Registry. Very easy to, if you just plug in Green Building Registry, you'll go to the site. There are almost 193,000 homes in this state with significant energy efficiency, green building, high performance improvements on their homes. And I'll give you a little clue here. If you drill down to Melrose, Massachusetts, there's 697 of our 11,000 homes in Melrose, where I live, that are on the Green Building Registry. In fact, if you look at 957 Main Street, Unit 2, you'll find my home on there. So you can actually, as you drill down, you can get to specific addresses. Think of the power of that, Stacy. This is a tool that we might all want to take advantage of. But if I can find 600 plus properties in Melrose, maybe as a green designated agent, I should be marketing specifically to those addresses, right? There's a huge opportunity here. New Hampshire, the opportunity is still good. It's only 7,000, but take a look at this Florida. I was blown away when I pulled up the Florida map. Over 200,000 addresses in the state of Florida with significant high performance features that are in these properties, right? We have an opportunity here to really be able to drill down and grab a lot of leads. This is past a niche marketplace right now. We have an opportunity to really grab this marketplace at Laird and be able to move this forward. So I just wanted to share that with you all. And then, part of my job here at Laird is to keep track of all of the stuff that's going on legislatively. Massachusetts is a real leader in this. There's a real movement in our new building codes towards electrification. You need to understand what that means in your business. You need to understand what it means for builders. The state is really pushing builders towards electrification. Governor DeSantis last year vetoed a net metering bill that would have really squashed solar PV photovoltaics in the state of Florida. And I was so glad that he made that choice to protect the incentives and the net metering policy that Florida currently has in place. They were trying to kill that last year. What have we been up to? Well, we do a lot of education on this stuff, and I'm going to throw into the chat right now one education opportunity. And Kimberly Kuplast, I saw you on this chain as well. Feel free to throw in the next Lear Sustainability Committee meeting, which is October 17th from 12 to 1 on Zoom. Everybody's invited to that. You know, anybody can attend these and check out what's going on. We're actually having the person that runs the Green Building Registry on that committee meeting as our guest to be able to take us through that tool and how to use it as a listing agent. I just listed a property, put it on the market 2 nights ago in North Andover, and I just checked in the Green Building Registry. Now there are 269 units in this development in North Andover. One of them has a HERS score. It's the goddamn one that I'm listing, Stacy. It had a HERS score of 60. The seller didn't know that. I wouldn't have even known it if I hadn't gone to the Green Building Registry. And obviously I entered that data field into MLS PIM. So education, there's so many opportunities here to get this right. And we now have a requirement, you know, our fiduciary duty to our clients is to protect them, to make sure their investments are realized at the time of sale. I would argue that these homes with high performance improvements, we have a standardized process for making sure that appraisers are recognizing the contributory value for these assets. It's standardized within the industry. People need to know about this stuff, or my suggestion, Stacy, is that they need to refer to our agents that are knowledgeable and competent in this place to protect you more than anybody else. You're going to be the one that gets the lawsuit when some seller realizes they had an agent that wasn't competent in this field after the time of sale. On top of that, in our Lear check request form, we have, and we want to track all of the sales of homes with high performance improvements. So when you're filling out your check request, so that we can track, and we are the only company in the United States that I am aware of that is tracking our high performance home sales, homes with high performance features, which is going to be, you know, at least a third of the homes that we sell on an annual basis. It's just that so many realtors aren't aware of what this language of green high performance home improvements are. And if you are, you're not necessarily filling this out. Please fill this out. So when I sell 2701 Tupelo Circle in North Andover, I'm going to be checking that it has a HERS score, right? I'm going to be checking that it has advanced insulation, which is the insulation package is fantastic. Please, please fill that out so we can make a big deal out of this next year as we start to, you know, engage the public even further in terms of the fact that Lear Realty really leads the way in this. And I know this is a cheap joke, you know, with the 50 Shades of Gray thing, but there are literally 50 shades of green, right? So just about every home may have put in LED light bulbs. Well, you could put that over on other green high performance improvements, right? I mean, there's lots of, you know, from LED light bulbs is one shade of green to the 50th, which is a Passive House certified beyond net zero, producing more energy than it's using. You know, my own home, I've done a bunch of improvements to. I'm probably in the 30th shade of green, right? So there's all kinds of opportunities out there for us to engage in this stuff. This is my home, as a matter of fact. You know, this is a 1895 Victorian in Melrose, Massachusetts. We did a deep energy retrofit, my wife and I did, on our home. You can see it got a pretty good HERS score of 59, very tough for a building envelope like a Victorian. I'm up in the turret right now, has a lot of hip roofs. Those are really tough to get right, but my team was able to do it without much trouble. But more importantly, from an appraiser perspective, an appraiser that's gone through the Valuation of Sustainable Buildings program, they take a look at that number, $3,711 of cost savings annually, and they can run a net present value calculation to just use that simple number to add contributory value in the appraisal report. My home's also Pearl certified, which is one of our partners. PearlCertification.com. We'll have them on in a future Lear Sustainability Committee meeting. I'm sure, to talk about the values of that certification. We've sold more Pearl certified homes than any other agency has in the state. And in fact, Pearl, after we sold 50 or so certified homes, they sent up an appraiser from North Carolina to do a rigorous third-party analysis. And that appraiser found that there was 4.5% increase in value for Pearl certified homes versus homes that weren't certified. So we're seeing, again, an independent third party really value this certification in the state of Massachusetts. We're also, as Stacey said, we're getting a lot of national attention on the fact that we've really led the way here. So, my job is to be there for you. If you have questions about this, you can find me easily enough, in our team areas, and feel free to reach out to me specifically. Listing agents are critical to making sure our homeowners are seeing their equity realized at the time of sale with these green improvements that they've been making. This is Article 11, competence. Don't be surprised if there's specific language sometime in the course of this next year that highlights specifically buildings, commercial and residential, with significant high performance home improvements. Fiduciary responsibility says the same thing. Competent agents that are supposed to have expertise superior to that of the average person. I'm just trying to make a real clear case here that these homes with high performance improvements really demand a listing agent that knows what they're doing, can talk articulately to buyers that have questions about these kinds of improvements, and be able to move this property, market it appropriately, and value it appropriately. Also, the Inflation Reduction Act, I'll just throw this in. One good takeaway here is just plug your information into this little tool that Rewiring America has made, and take a look at, if you've got a tax appetite, which we all do, we're independent contractors, and you're having a good year, there's huge tax incentives under this law that was passed in 2022 to be able to lower your tax burden by making improvements in your own home. And I'll throw that into the chat. And NAR, moving forward, this is in our strat plan. Our 2025 objective is to really be a leader at National Association of Realtors for member awareness and consumer awareness about the impacts of a changing climate on the built environment and the best sustainability practices out there. So that's what I have, Stacey. Just with all this
So
stuff.
before I let you go, the GBAR, the Greater Boston event, the Sustainability Symposium, is that the one we're sponsoring?
Yes, it is. We are stepped to the plate with a big sponsorship there, definitely. Thank you for that.
Okay, because I just want to say for that event, Donna had just put into the chat, can any real estate agent attend that, or do you have to be GBAR?
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, anybody. But I want to let you guys know, Donna, I'll reach out to you after the program. I have 5 free tickets to that because we're a sponsor. So if anybody is listening today that wants to attend that, shoot me an email at Happy Agent Donna. I already know that you're interested, so I'll shoot you an email after the program and add you to the list. But we have free tickets for that event because we're one of the sponsors.
That's awesome. It's going to be a great event. We have Catherine Antos, who's the Undersecretary of Electrification for the state of Massachusetts, as the keynote speaker and a panelist. It's going to be a phenomenal event. And I'll be teaching fundamentals of sustainable homes. So, again, knowledge and competence, right? By taking continuing ed classes like we offer in the state. That is part of the fulfillment for being competent in this part of the industry. So definitely check it out. It's going to be a great day.
All right. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Craig.
Yep.
All right. We are going back to our Lear Agent Services. And by the way, don't forget, that we're putting all of our different sustainability tools that we get from Craig. I want to make sure we add Craig, if it's not here already, which I don't think it is, that link with all the properties in each state that are green. What was that link? Oh, you're muted.
The Green Building Registry. I'll throw the URL into the chat. But
Awesome.
yeah, we definitely should be adding that 100%.
All right, and we have Sergio here. So Sergio, that's on you. If you could add that to our layer agent services under sustainability. All right, we're back to layer agent services. A couple other things I just want to point out before we go back to our layer program. We're only at page 1 of the layer program and services guide. So technically page 7, but we have a lot to cover and we're halfway through the program. A couple things I want to make sure you guys see. For layer agents, we try to make getting paid as simple as possible. So we have a link here for your check request. I have good news. Sergio and I have been laboring over the check request system for the last 3 weeks. This weekend, we're launching a whole new check request system. It's just so much cleaner. We went through step by step. We took out tons of stuff. We're like, why are we asking so much information? Just to make it easier for you guys to get paid without collecting so much info. Of course, we kept on there all the sustainability stuff because that's important. But new check request system is being launched in the next couple of days. And then down here we have, I just want to let our layer agents know, because we have 40+ offices, if you want to get access to any of our offices, I think this is where you go. Oh no, this is just all of the office info, but you can go to access a layer office. So if you need to get into an office like after hours or something as a layer agent, you fill out that form and our team will send you all the information to get in to that office. We have 40+ offices in all of our different marketplaces. One last thing before I jump off of this, I'm going to scroll to the very, very top of the layer agent services. Is we have a phenomenal newsletter, internal newsletter for our agents that goes out once a month. Can't stress enough. This is where you can find out what's happening in our organization, agents who have recently joined. You can find, I'm going to actually download this version of it because it's easier to read. It's got that weird little thing there. So this is our monthly newsletter. It changes every single month, but you'll see we recommend books. We have a tech update from our tech committee sharing cool tech info. We have a safety corner. You'll also see we have a section just letting you know what's happening in the lives of your peers, like who got married and who had a death in their family, who had a new baby. Strongly recommend you guys just click on this once a month just to see what's happening within the organization. We always have a sustainability segment. This month it was on green roofs. We do a movie recommendation. This month we lost one of our own agents, so we did a nice little memorial to Ron in the back of that. But every month it changes, so just click on it once a month just to see what's happening. We print these and leave them at the front of every office as well, so you could grab a copy of it if you happen to be in one of our offices. So that's kind of an overview of layer agent services. As I mentioned, this is not password protected, so any agent can go check out all the stuff we have happening and use any of these amazing tools, tens of thousands of dollars worth of phenomenal tools. And now I want to head back to our brand new program and services guide. So that was basically, we're on page 7 and it's like a 35-page guide. So we'll kind of move along a little faster, but we're still in the marketing and branding section of the program. Next, I want to just bring on Sergio for a few minutes to talk about, first of all, he's going to talk to you about the done for you marketing. In case you're a layer agent, we do all of your marketing on new listings, all of your social media, And so I'm just going to ask Sergio to pop on for a couple minutes to talk about those tools that are available to you. So welcome, Sergio.
Hey, thank you, Stacy. Let me get my stuff ready here. 1 second. Okay, so we've been changing a lot of things in, there we go. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, so so as a Layer agent, we provide this concierge marketing package. Now, if you've seen our classes before, if you're not a new Layer agent, you may have noticed that this email now looks different. We tried to provide some different resources down here at the bottom, and we've basically cleaned up the email. When your listing goes live on the MLS, so within 24 hours, you will receive your concierge marketing package, which looks just like this. Now, the links down here are the same as the old email. We have 2 Canva templates for your brochure and your social media, and then a link to download your marketing bundle. So we'll click on that download link. This link takes you to Google Drive, where you can download the marketing bundle as is. So this includes a listing sheet, which you can download, or you can even print directly from Google Drive, just like this. You can also download this as a PDF and print out. This also includes your social media pieces, which we have this new listing. It follows the whole transaction of your home. So new listing, just sold, for sale, under agreement, etc. For our New England agents, we have our preferred closing firm, Coast to Coast Closings. We have a little flyer. And then for our Florida agents, we have a New World flyer that's also included. And then we also have an open house sign-in sheet, which you can print out and use at your upcoming open house. Like I said before, we have these Canva templates. So both for your brochure, your listing brochure, and for your social media pieces. The listing brochure is really easy to edit. Again, Stacy did mention that we use Canva a lot. Basically, anything that you see with graphics at Layer is done in Canva. It makes it easy for us to share the original document with you. In fact, if you do have a change and you'd like us to work on it, you can email us at happyagents@layerrealty.com and say like, hey, I have price improvements or anything, and we can edit the document on our end, and you'll actually see it. You'll see those changes go live immediately on your end in this document. So as long as you click on this link, you will see all of the updates occur here. You're also welcome to update it yourself. So I'm going to make a copy because that was a live listing, but I'm able to come in here, click on uploads. We can upload a new picture of a home. Just going to grab one of these we've been working on, let it upload, and very easily just drag and drop your new photo. Now, we do our best to make sure that we have the best photos for your property, but if you did go out and have updated photos, you can go in and drag and drop. The same here with all your information. You're easily able to update all of this. All of this text is editable. Okay, there we go. And the same is for your social media pieces. For your social media pieces, there is a really cool feature of Canva where you're able to share to social media directly from your Canva documents. You can click on share on social. You can share to any of these connected accounts. I don't have anything connected to this particular Canva account, but all you need to do is click on this the first time, go through the process, and then you can share directly to Facebook. There is a feature of Canva Pro where you can share to a calendar to schedule out your social media post. You can also just click on share and download and then download a specific page as a PNG and then post directly to social media. If you scroll all the way down, we have some different pieces that we don't necessarily make for you right away. Like, we don't include it in the downloads folder because we don't have the information yet. So if you do have a price change, a back on market, or an open house that has a specific date, we have our template here, which you can edit and then download and post, all in Canva. And again, if you need any help through this, you can always email us at Happy Agent and we'd be glad to help you out. Now, one new thing that we have here are some under other helpful resources. We have this FedEx 2-day delivery of the listing package, which includes this 25 printed listing sheets. They're done on nice paper. 10 layer brochures, 10 closing company brochures, and an open house sign-in sheet, and a nice layer gold foil folder. All you need to do is fill this information out. You'll receive an email with confirmation. You can pay directly from this form, and we will send it out to you. So you can get that link down here under other helpful resources, or you can also get it at our Layer Agent Services. If you scroll down to the special marketing requests, we have this link, which you can go to request a marketing brochure ahead of time or a 4-page brochure. But we also have this link, which just brings you back to this page here for the FedEx listing package, which you can order. Another resource, again, another link that we have, which again goes to that same place, is to order this 4-page brochure. You'll find all of those links down here. And so just look out for this email. It does look a little different. So just, you can do a quick search for Concierge Marketing Package and it will come right up. So that's the Layer Concierge Marketing Package. And let me go over our next part. So let me bring up the email. So we do have social media, our weekly social media that we send out. So let me bring up this week's social media, which we sent out on Monday. There we go. So every Monday, you will receive an email that looks just like this. This is your social media for the whole week. Stacey kind of already went over it. We include, well, it's the beginning of the month, so we like to include Facebook covers for the month. So you'll see those two first, both for Florida and for New England. And then we include social media for the rest of the week. Again, we're including the caption. So if you feel like you don't know what to say, you can just copy and paste this. You can add or remove as you wish. If you feel like there's too many hashtags, you can remove some of them. This is just a great starting point because you should, go in and customize this for your local market. And it's very easy to use. You just click on download. This downloads the image and then you can post. You can do this from your desktop. We also have these Canva links, which you can click and edit in Canva. And you can also post directly in Canva. You can click on the share to social, you can click on schedule to schedule it out, or you can click on any of these accounts. As part of this, you also receive a text message. Hold on, let me pull that up. You'll receive a text message from Layer, which looks just like this here. One sec. Let's see, we've received them every week with a link that goes to our social media post for the week. So I can kind of show you what it looks like in our mobile format. So if we close this, there we go. This is what it looks like on your phone. You're very easily able to go in and scroll through. Again, this copy text becomes really helpful because it's kind of hard to copy and text on your phone, like highlighting. You can just click on this button. This copies all of the text of the caption to your clipboard, and then you can copy and paste. You can switch over to your Instagram account or your Facebook account and then paste the text. And then we also have this download image button, which again takes you to Google Drive, where you can download directly to your phone. It's a really great system. If you feel like you're not getting these text messages, you can email us at happyagents@lairrealty.com. Or if you're just happy with the emails and don't want to receive the text messages, you can always reply stop and we'll take you off of our list. And that is our social media system.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Sergio.
Yep.
All right, let me go back to our Lair Program and Services Guide. Oh. Got too many windows open. We'll just go back. All right, back to our Lair Program and Services Guide. By the way, if you came on late, you can go to lairrealty.com/success tools and download the newest guide. It's all revamped. So if you're on last month's boot camp, everything has changed. We've reorganized our program and services guide just so that there's a better flow. And the way in which we organized it is the areas that we think that the agents utilize the most. But most importantly, we made it so that there's just a flow to it. All the marketing stuff is together. All the administrative stuff is together. So this is everything you just saw, Sergio. This is our concierge done for you marketing support. And this is our new listing bundles that you get automatically. As well as the done for you social media assistant that emails you and texts you every Monday with all of your social media stuff for the week. The one other piece I just wanted to point out is we also, as I mentioned earlier, if you're a Lair agent, we boost every listing. Every listing that goes live, we automatically do 7 days of pay-per-click marketing. All leads go directly to the list agent. Here's what I like to say to agents. They're cold leads. So when you get the lead, you're really only getting an email address. Somebody was interested in this property and you're getting an email address. So they're not the warmest leads in the world. I would just put them into an email campaign. So your set it and forget it marketing campaign just to stay in touch with that person. But they're not the warmest leads in the world. Most importantly, I want to make sure that when you go on a listing appointment, you have a flyer that talks about how you're going to market the property. And we've created for you, I showed you a little earlier in our brochure section of Lair Agent Services, there is a one-page marketing piece to include in your listing presentation that discusses how we market the property using the Boost by HomeSpotter. As well as an agent, you can go in and do additional advertising. We do 7 days worth of advertising, but after that, we have many agents that want to like boost because they're doing an open house. So through your back end dashboard, you can go do additional advertising on that property. I'm going to have Len come on in a little bit to do a couple presentations for us. One, he's going to show you a quick overview of our our Cloud CMA, and also RP, I keep screwing up the info, Real Scout and Cloud CMA. I'm going to have Len come on and do a little demo on both in a little bit. But right now, what I want you to know is that many of our agents are using Cloud CMA for their preferred CMA program. And there's certain steps you have to take to make sure you're linking to the Lair version. We do not have the out of the box plain vanilla version that many of you get just by being in MLS. we've upgraded ours so that you have beautiful presentation. So you want to make sure you link into the Layer version of Cloud CMA if you're using it, but I'll have Len show that to you in a few minutes. One of the things we're really proud of, many of you guys have seen these, but we have a beautiful magazine, At Home magazine. We did send these to the offices as well. These are to include like in a listing presentation, basically, or a buyer presentation. We're also in the process of having professionally printed our Layer luxury selling guide. So also beautiful magazine quality format that shows you all of the luxury listings our agency has sold over the last week. In the back of it, it shows the last 12 months. So from $12 million, which was our highest sale in the last 12 months, and lots of $5, $4, $3, $2, and $1 million sales. So it features some of the luxury sales we've done in New England and in Florida, but also it talks about some of the things that a luxury agent does a little bit different than other agents. So that was our entire marketing part of the Layer program and services guide. The next section of the guide just focuses on some of the technology that is available. And some of it we're going to just kind of skip through, make sure you know that you have access to it if you're a Layer agent. And then a couple of them, we're going to dig a little deeper just to make sure you understand how you can use those tools as a resource to grow your business in 2024. So let's take a look at some of the complementary technology you have access to, at least if you're a Layer agent. We pay for the premium version of .loop. If you're a New England agent, our Florida agents prefer app files. So those are our transaction management systems. We also offer all of our agents showing time. We have an upgraded version of Cloud CMA. Boost by HomeSpotter, and we also give a complimentary G Suite to every agent that wants it at Layer, so that you can have a Google Drive, use Google Forms, Google Sheets, etc. So those are all the free things that you get as part of your membership in our organization. We also have oftentimes when agents join a brokerage, one of the questions that they should ask, and they often do ask, is, are there any monthly fees associated with being with your brokerage? And at our company, we have an optional $39 per month tech bundle. We don't force agents to sign up for it. We just think these 3 products are phenomenal. By the way, if you're not a Layer agent, I still recommend all 3 of these products. The only difference is because of our size, we get all 3 at super discounts because we have a lot of agents. So at Layer, you get all 3 products for $39 a month. Each of these charges $39 per month on their own. So there's a little bit of savings if you're a Layer agent. Even I would recommend each one of these for $39, no matter what. I think they're phenomenal products. The first one is Eyes-Act. Eyes-Act is a database. This is so important. I usually have a little presentation I do on this, but I can see we're already short on time because I want to really stress the importance of the database. It's interesting because I showed you guys a little while ago that new marketing piece where we tell consumers, we educate consumers about the truth about Zillow, because Zillow, in my opinion, is not good for our industry. What is Zillow? Zillow is a database company. And what I want you guys to think about as real estate professionals is, do you think that Zillow ever stops contacting you without you saying, hey, enough? The only way Zillow is going to stop sending you emails, they send you emails every single day. If you go in and sign up as a buyer, the only way they ever stop is if you unsubscribe them. So, but Zillow is very effective. They get a lot of customers because they are relentless. they will keep sending you. That's why when I say, like, with those boost leads, all you're getting is every time those boost leads come into you, you're basically getting an email. What do you do with those? Put them into your database. You have to be relentless. You're going to be sending these people constant communications with set it and forget it marketing systems. That means that it's not you going in every single day and emailing and texting a customer, just like you are your own Zillow. You're just going to stay in touch with them so that at a point in the future, when that person is ready to actually make a move or to go look at a piece of real estate, they remember you. Who goes into your database? I say, if you don't have a database right now, a great place to start is if you were planning a wedding for yourself, who would you invite? Friends, family, coworkers, everybody that you know should go into your database, and they should be receiving set it and forget it emails from you every single month. That is why I love Eyes-Act. Eyes-Act is the simplest CRM system out there for real estate agents, and it's why we chose to partner with them. There are thousands of different CRM or database companies out there for real estate agents, thousands. And in fact, there are many that are better than Eyes-Act. They have more bells and whistles. However, the bells and whistles is where agents often get stuck. In other words, there's so many bells and whistles that the system is just complicated enough that agents don't use it. So what I love about Eyes-Act is the simplicity of it. It is a place to store all of your people, names and email addresses. And also it is a set it and forget it system. So the few things that Eyes-Act does really well: stores the information, a set it and forget it e-newsletter, and it's a phenomenal newsletter. You can go in and customize it every month, but why bother with the extra work? I think the newsletter is phenomenal as it is. So a set it and forget it email newsletter that goes out once a month to clients. It does a few other things as well, set it and forget it. Number one, at Layer, we've written a phenomenal 12-week new buyer campaign for when you're working. You get a lead off of like OpCity or one of those sites. Put them into the 12-week buyer campaign so that that consumer is hearing from you every single week for the 12 weeks, in addition to all the other stuff you're doing. So we have a great buyer 12-week home buyer campaign. If you put a client's birth date in the system, it will email them a birthday card on their birthday every single year. If you put the client's closing date into the system, it'll send them a home anniversary email each year, like a little card. So I love set it and forget it systems because it enables real estate agents to grow their business. Now, a couple things I will tell you about Eyes-Act. All these down here on the Layer Program and Services Guide, these are little tutorials on how to set it up. So it is worth it. If you are not currently using a database, you have to just bite the bullet. This should be the number one thing you go work on, the number one thing you go execute on so that it's up and running by 2024. Get your system up and running. With Eyes-Act, in my opinion, you could spend 1 hour of your time going through these little tutorials, setting it up so that it's got a nice picture of you, your contact information, and then you just have to create your own system for putting people in it all the time and not forgetting to put people in it. You have to have a database, or you're always going to pay more for leads. Your database is your gold in your business. If you ever intend on leaving the business and selling it, what somebody might buy is a database that has been marketed to for many years. And it's the only way to drive the cost per lead down because you're becoming your own Zillow, just staying in touch with people. So huge fan of Eyes-Act. By the way, there are two, I think they're on here. there are two. I thought they were on this link. If you go to YouTube, our YouTube station, youtube.com/layer training, there are two classes, a beginner and an intermediate program that I teach on YouTube on Isact. At least watch the beginner one, because it will walk you through how to set up your Isact. And once you do it, once you invest the 1 hour, then you're setting yourself up for success, because now you're gonna have a system working for you. When you're not working the system's working for you. The second part of the $39 a month bundle is Boston Logic. Boston Logic is a website company. Layer Realty, our website, layerrealty.com, is built off of Boston Logic. It's a beautiful templated website. When you sign up for your Layer Boston Logic website, we ask you several questions, and then we set it up so that hopefully you don't have to go take these tutorials unless you want to. We set it up right the first time, so it looks beautiful. So if a consumer lands on your website, they can see that you're professional and you do business. But for agents that like to go in and tinker and add pages and stuff like that, it's very easy to do. That's why we have these little tutorial videos you can click on at the bottom. And the third part, this is so important. This is why I'm going to have Len do a little tutorial for you guys on this third part. This is Real Scout. This is when I showed you guys that document that we've been making on the truth about Zillow. This is how you compete with Zillow, is using a product like this. So as a real estate agent, every single one of you as real estate agents should have set yourself up as buyers within realtor.com and Zillow and Redfin, just to see the experience from the consumer's point of view. And what you will see, because I have myself set up as a buyer in all these different companies, because I'm curious, I want to see what do they send. Every single one of them sends daily new properties to go look at, and it's engaging the customer. Well, Real Scout can do all of it. In fact, I signed myself up for Real Scout as a buyer because I want to see what is the Real Scout experience like. And I will tell you, it's as good, if not better, from a buyer standpoint as Zillow. They're going to get emails every day as new listings hit the market. You can set up the client to get texts as a new property. Anytime a new property within a certain range hits the market, they can get text messages. They can have multiple searches. So maybe they're looking in 3 different towns at 3 different types of properties. They can have multiple searches going at one time. The beauty of it is they can have everything that Zillow would provide without getting contacted by 10 different real estate agents and 10 different mortgage originators and being basically harassed with information that has been sold to real estate agents. So this is how we combat the Zillows and realtor.coms. So with that, I'm going to invite Len on, who heads up our business development team, just to give you guys 2 tutorials. I want him to just give you guys a quick overview, first of all, of Real Scout, but also a quick tutorial on our branded version of Cloud CMA, so that you can see how beautiful a CMA can come out with very little work. So with that, I'll invite Len on.
Hi, everyone. So yes, we'll start with Real Scout. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And so what you're looking at right now is the email notifications that I've gotten from Real Scout. So I signed myself up for for daily updates and everything. So the really cool thing about Real Scout that makes it different than others, you know, I mean, it's like you can sign somebody up on MLS and they get daily updates and everything, but it's like the way these emails look are completely different and so much better. And also Real Scout uses what they call a natural language. So here's like a listing I just got, just an email that just received, right? And it says, here is a listing you might like. 51 Burnham Road is a colonial style home that features a central air. So it looks like I actually wrote that email. And the one below it says, here are some listings you might like. And it talks about Meadows Drive, and then it talks about 9th Court. And then here's what it says, these listings match your criteria. This one says, here's recent activity in your search area. So the cool thing about this is these emails look like they're coming directly from you instead of a computer, which is really awesome. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click here. Oops, that didn't work. Hang on. Let's click here. Sorry, I have two screens open, so it just went to the wrong screen, and here we are. All right, so here is the buyer view. This is what the buyer sees when they open a listing that you send to them, right? And it's going to have, all the information, the price and everything, the description. And as you read down, it'll have all this other information. But the cool thing about Real Scout is it gives the buyers the opportunity to say whether or not they like the house, whether or not they're interested in the house, right? So a buyer could say, yeah, you know what, Burnham Road looks pretty good. I'm going to be interested. And I would say, I think maybe that's a 4. It's matching a lot of my criteria. So I'm going to give that one 4 stars. And then when they click here, they actually communicate directly with you. So what's happening here is if they say, hey, can I see this house, right? It also gives them a time for a suggested date to when to look at it. So let's say, let's look at it tomorrow. And then when they send this, right, I get an instant text. Hang on, let's see, where's the camera? There we go. I just got a text saying they just messaged me. That's pretty awesome. So it's instantaneous, it's great. So this is one of the great advantages of Real Scout as opposed to so many of the other programs that will send daily emails. Now the other cool thing is if you go back to where to go, let's see here. If you look at my emails here, as you can see, is like anytime anything changes, I have it set up so if there's any kind of a change, something new, a price change, whatever, the email is going to come through. So as things happen, your client is getting emailed. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the dashboard. So when you sign in into Real Scout, you as an agent, what you're going to see is you're going to see your dashboard, and you're going to see all the activity that's been going on with your customers and clients, right? And so right now we open this up and we can see that this buyer, Len Lockery, he is interested in Burnham Road. He gave it 4 stars and he opened it up. He took a look at it. It also shows that he also opened these other emails, right? And as we scroll down, here we have Leonid. He viewed one of the listings here, and you can click here and see this right here. See what the property is and everything. And as you keep going down, you can see that he viewed another one. And as we keep going down, we can see my wife was looking at a house in a neighborhood, right? So she looked at that multiple times, right? And here's Dennis. He look at this. He opened this one 4 times, right? So it tells me that these people are active, and it lets you know when you should be picking up the phone and calling them, following up with them. So also here on the dashboard are recent client conversations and everything. These are the people who have texted me, right? So here's this last one from Len Lockery that says, hey, I want to see this one, right? So that information is right there. Now, the other cool thing is there's a lot that you can do with this, with Real Scout. So over here is your control panel and everything. You can click here. You can see who your clients are. You can see how active they've been. The neat thing about Real Scout and about the search is, if you're like me, I'm in multiple MLSs, so I can switch around and change the different MLSs. So right now I'm set for the New Hampshire MLS. Now I'm going to switch to the MLS for Massachusetts. I'm going to click here, and the search function is different than a lot of search functions. So first of all, let's just do real quick here. We're going to click on active, right? and property type is going to be residential. And what we're going to do down as any search, right? You can do, by price, by bedrooms, by bathrooms, whatever, but then the location search part of this, right? You have the traditional where, you put in the city or the zip code or whatever, and it's going to show you whatever is there, right? Or you can use the Pitney Bowes geographic boundaries. This is really incredible. So you can actually search for school districts. Now we know in MLS where this is when an agent is inputting information and it says schools or school districts, it doesn't necessarily mean that's accurate. It's just what they think it is. This is much, much more accurate. So I can put in here and I can say, hey, I want to search for maybe the town of Chelmsford, right? And it's going to say, here's the townships. It labels it a little bit weird, but no big deal, right? But say maybe I want to look at the Blanchard middle school district, right? And say maybe my buyer's looking for a house just in that school district, right? Scroll down here and you go past the cities and townships, you go to schools and look at here. Here's the Blanchard Middle School, Westford. You click on that and it's going to pull up a map over here on the left, and it's going to show where the boundaries are for that school district and where houses are available. And this information is from the Pitney Bowes geographic boundaries, and it's updated constantly. So it's very, very accurate. It's an incredible, incredible search tool. So what I do recommend is when you do have a new client, what you want to do is set up the search for them first, set up their first search so that you know that they're actually in and doing it, right? And then when you save something to a client, you choose the client, right? And here, and then you get to choose whether it's going to be daily or ASAP, which means as soon as something changes, they get notified. So there are more items here. There are right now, it's called market alerts. On October 10th, Real Scout is rolling out new upgrades that will be available to all of us. So some of the new things is not only just a market alert, which would be for a town or an area, whatever, and say like you have a seller that you want them to know what's going on in, say, Chelmsford, whatever, right? The new system, and we'll talk about that next month, is going to be the home value alerts, where you put in the seller's address and it's pulling information and it's giving them information, alerting them as the value of their home changes. So it's kind of neat. And then listing tools, this is kind of neat. You can always come here and see my listings, but I like this. This is the test the market. This is good for a seller. Say, you're doing a CMA, and every time you do a CMA, right, and you're thinking, well, the price marketing, range should be right here, and the sellers are always thinking it should be up here, right? So you can come in here, and I'll just put in my home address. Hang on, boom, boom, boom. There we go, boom. And the system knows it's a single family, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And let's say my target price was $550, right? And I'm going to generate a report. And the report that's going to create is going to have like a map, and then it's going to have this graph. And this graph is very important when you're talking to sellers and they want to overprice a home. What you can do is show them is like, what, if you price at $550, you're going to have, 460 buyers who are going to be in that price range looking at your home. But if you price it, say like at $575, $579, you're going to lose 8%. You're going to lose buyers. Here's how many buyers are not going to look at your home. And if you underprice it a little bit, you'll have even more people coming through. So this is a really good listing tool. And then it also includes a heat map to show you where all the activity is for that area and how many buyers are out there and what the activity has been. One more thing is a landing page. Real Scout comes with a landing page, and it's fully customizable, and you get your own URL. And so mine is right there. So for the landing page, you can make any changes, whatever you want. You can put this into your website as a page for people to come to, so they can sign up directly with your Real Scout that way. Or you can put it, you know, the URL into your signature, whatever you want. But and it's, you know, so as you can see, I got rid of the Golden Gate Bridge, put a house, a lion in there. And then here are some of my past sales. And it's a way to capture more people. So, all right, so for Real Scout, this month they're coming out with another new feature that I have not played around with yet, but I will. And it's called Auto Nurture. So basically is like if you have somebody who signs up on Real Scout, but they don't do anything, the program will reach out to them and it'll go by according to where their address is or what search area they've had. And it'll kind of nudge them to do something with your website. So it stays in touch with them automatically. And then I mentioned the home value alerts, and they are revamping the contact management part of the system over here where it says clients. You're going to be able to put in more information and you'll be able to sort people out. So that is Real Scout, kind of like an overview. I think it's a really awesome program. So,
Hey, Len, there's one
yes.
question. I mean, this is a
Yes.
phenomenal tool, no question. But Lisa Newman said, is the buyer activity directly Real Scout buyers or from other sources? Do you know what the sources are?
It is Real Scout activity, yes. And so it's like if you go into MLS, you can also see. I know that what you can do is you can put in a partial listing, and then you can see how many agents have buyers for that and everything, right? Or how many buyers there are for that listing. It'll be a much higher number, but it is representative of the buyers that are out there. So, but you know, at the same time though, it's like if you're meeting with a seller for the first time and you're telling them, well, yeah, there's 460 buyers. That's a big number for sellers. So, all right. Any other questions? Everybody else good on Real Scout for now?
I didn't see anything else in the chat one.
All right, so we'll see what the new programs are like when they roll them out in a couple days. So that's exciting. All right, so the next thing is going to be Cloud CMA, and let me just open this up. Cloud CMA is a great program. It's very easy to use, it does a very nice presentation, and everything is branded to Lair. So you'll get your name, and you'll get the Lair logo at the bottom, and your phone number, your cell phone, and everything will be in the Lair colors, and it looks really, really nice. So a couple of things is, if you have not been into Toolkit CMA yet, you have different ways of going. You can go cloudcma.com and put your email in. And when you do it that way, it's going to ask if you want to sign up for free. Go ahead and sign up for free. But when you change it to your company, that's when it's completely free. So what you want to do is you want to go to account settings, and you're going to open up your profile. And here, the third line down is going to say the company name. Now, this part is very important because I know that we all abbreviate it as Lair or Lair Realty, or if you're in Florida, you are Bowen Lair Realty. I know we kind of abbreviate everything that way, but on this program, you need to put in for the company name Lair Realty Partners, and then you want to do is you want to save it, and that's going to connect you with the Lair branding pages. Also, if you are in different MLSs like me, or if you're signing up for the first time and you're not coming in through one of your MLSs, you do need to set up your MLS here. For whatever reason, Cloud CMA always defaults to New Hampshire for me, but that's okay. But you do is you choose your state, you choose the MLS that you're in, and then you put in your MLS ID. And now when I do a CMA, it's going to pull from MLS PIN. So once I've done this, right, now let's go back to CMAs. Now, I've already done quite a few CMAs. And Tom Sellerman is not a real person, so you know that's one that I've been playing around with. So for creating CMAs, you have multiple ways of doing it. And if you look down here, you can see that I have a bunch of MLS ID numbers in here. So you can cut and paste your MLS IDs directly in here, and it'll pull up exactly the listings that you want as part of your CMA. But if you didn't want to do that, I can back these out like this, right? And I can leave it all blank, right? And it's going to pull. So I used as an address 6 Marina Road in Chelmsford, right? So now if I click update listings, it's actually going to pull from around that property. And it's going to pull properties that are nearby, and it's going to pull at least a couple of actives, a couple of pendings, and a bunch of solds. And as you can see, it pulled 17 solds. Now you don't want to put that many solds into a CMA, but that's part of the program too. So like if you are not sure of which properties to put into your CMA, this is a good way to start. I always recommend though that you go through MLS, look at the listings and figure it out, and then cut and paste the MLS ID numbers in. But as it shows, it's got a whole bunch in here. I can tell you 1 million is out of the range, you know, so I'm just gonna uncheck a few of these. Boom, boom, just so it's not so big and bulky for the CMA. And there's other cool things that you can do too, by the way, is you can actually go in and you can make adjustments. Now you're not making an adjustment as an appraiser, but you're making adjustments to the marketing value. So sometimes, you know, if you go in and say like the remarks are not very good, right, for whatever the other realtor put in, you can put your own remarks in. You can change it so it's like it's showing what some of the features are and everything. But you can come down here too, and you can make adjustments. So say like you want to make an adjustment for bedrooms, you can put it in here. You can save it, and it'll make an adjustment on the price. And then once you've done all this, you want to customize the report. And then here is the second important step of the first time that you come in to Cloud CMA is you want to make sure this theme right up here says Lair Realty Partners. Now, when you go to change a theme, what you want to do is there's a whole bunch of different colors here, right? You want to scroll all the way up to the top. If where it says branded, you see a whole bunch of other towns, other companies listed, that means you'll need to go back to your profile and update the company name that you have. But then in the end, choose Lair Realty Partners, and boom, and it's going to choose all the branding pages for Lair. And so here are some of the pages that are part of your CMA. Here's information about the marketing team. These are awesome pages. They look beautiful, right? And then when you're, let's see here, let's go into publish the report here. And I'll show you what the end product looks like. As soon as it publishes the PDF. Someday. Let's go to one that's already been done. Here we go. View PDF. Here we go. Here's an older one, right? This is great. This is going to have all the Lair pages in here, right? If you scroll down, it's got great Lair pages. We have new updated pages coming soon. So, but the cool thing is, if you can see, it's like at the bottom, everything's going to have your information, your cell phone number, the Lair logo, and everything's going to be in the Lair colors. So all of that is Cloud CMA, and it is so simple to use. And it blows everybody else out of the water. So I think I covered everything on that. Any questions on that?
All right, awesome stuff, Lynn. I want to remind everybody that our business development team does training classes on the Lair tools every Tuesday and Thursday. I think it's at noon, is it?
12:30, at 12:30.
12:30 every Tuesday and Thursday is tools training. So So you can go to lairrealty.com/training to get all of the dates for upcoming events, but it's basically every Tuesday and Thursday, and you can watch it right from inside our Facebook groups as well. So if you just show up at either the Roar group, which many of you saw, if you received my email this morning for the boot camp, you can go to our Facebook Roar group, which is open to any brokerage, and watch these live training programs. As well, if you're a Lair agent, you can go to Inside the Lion's Den, which is our company internal one, but we live stream our classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we specifically focus on these tools, on how to better utilize those. So I want to just go back for 1 second on the document I shared with you guys earlier, because I really think it's important as real estate agents, we start educating the consumers about Zillow. Because basically, otherwise, if we don't, then the effect of that is that all of us as listing agents, I guarantee you as listing agents, you lose potential buyers who go to Zillow. And even the buyers we work with, that you're working with a buyer and they're getting led astray on Zillow to other real estate agents. But that's why I love Real Scout, because basically one of the big things you have to talk about with the buyers that you're working with is don't go to Zillow, because what Len just showed you is you saw all the things you can search for. You can really narrow down your search for your buyers, for example, school district, to say, hey, I want to be just in this school district. Zillow doesn't do that. Like, there is very limited search functionality. Why? They don't want to know the specifics. They're there to just collect leads. So they're not concerned with, like, what does the buyer really want for real estate? And that's why we have to continuously say to the consumer, like, hey, vet your real estate agent first, and then we're going to give you access to a tool better than Zillow. It's going to really narrow down on the search and find you exactly what you want. Not to mention, I'm not going to be sharing like outdated, inaccurate information. Zillow, we know there's definitely a lag in the feed. So the consumer gets so excited about finding the house they love, only to find out it went under agreement 4 days ago. And then getting the consumer just to keep coming back to us. So this, the truth about Zillow, will be up by next, I'd say by Monday. This will be added to our marketing section at the Lair program and Lair Agent Services.
Hey, Stacy, there was a comment on the chat. Can you put the link to the Zillow doc in the chat by any chance, or just review one more time where to find that, where to pull that?
It's not there yet. So where you can find it on Monday, lairagentservices.com, and it is the under the very first marketing link. I'll show you guys where to find it, and it's not there yet, only because we have not finished proofing it. So lairagentservices.com, and it's going to be right here. The guides, presentations, brochures, you're going to be able to click on that. You guys already saw there's a whole bunch of documents under there, but that Zillow document is going to be under there as well. All right, we're back to our Lair program and services guide. We have 40 minutes to cover the remaining 50% of the booklet. But don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss some of the awesome stuff we have coming up. So let me go back to my presentation. All right, so that we pretty much covered all the tools. You guys got to have a taste of some of the free tools that we offer, but also you got to see it a little deeper dive into Real Scout. The reason we do that is because I think Real Scout is really important. That's why, so I mentioned we charge $39 optional for a tech fee. You can absolutely not opt into our tech fee, but even if you're only using Real Scout, it's worth $39 a month. If you're not a Lair agent, I think Real Scout's worth $39 a month, which is what they charge as an individual agent. because it's the only way to take back our business from companies like the Zillows. Next, let's take a look at career development opportunities at Lair. All this stuff is available to any agent. All of our training programs are open to agents of any brokerage. The one that I am most proud of all the programs we offer, is the one that we offer called AlgoWin. Basically, what we did last year is we held mastermind meetings with our highest performing real estate agents at Lair. We have many agents that are doing between $10 million and $90 million in sales volume each year. And many of them have been doing it for year over year. It does not matter what the market looks like. They keep performing at very high levels in the industry. So we brought together these mastermind groups, and the purpose of it was determining exactly what they do to be successful in real estate. And we made these lists, and we said, here's the 100 things, asked them all these questions. And then we took all the data from those high performing agents, and we crossed out all the stuff that only some of the agents do. And then we said, what is the main things, or what are the main things that these agents do to consistently create results in their business, regardless of what is happening in the marketplace? And what we determined is there is an algorithm to success, meaning that if you do certain things, you can expect a certain result. And so we launched this program. We wrote our own manual, basically taking all that information from the highest performing real estate agents. We developed it into 7 checklists. So the system is simple in that it's only 7 checklists. And then anything in those checklists, the book is about 100 pages, because anything that we suggest in those checklists, we tell you exactly step by step how to do it. The 7 checklists are, there's one checklist that you only do once a year, all the things to set yourself up for success. The yearly checklist is the most important checklist, because if you don't set yourself up for success for the year, then you are going to handicap yourself on all the other checklists. So the yearly checklist is the most important. It then has a monthly checklist, a weekly checklist, then new buyer, new seller, new listing, and a client appreciation checklist. Client appreciation events are really important. We suggest you do them 4 times a year. They don't have to cost you anything at all. But instead of going out and paying for strangers through products like a Zillow, let's really take care of the people that already know, like, and trust us, and turn them into raving fans and teach those consumers how to be advocates for us. So that is the AlgoWin system. By the way, you can get access to the entire system at Lair, L-A-E-R, realty.com/AlgoWin. And you can, there's a little form in there that we have you fill out just to collect some information about you. But once you do it, we send you the PDF of the actual system. I have been going out all year doing live training events on the AlgoWin system in New England and Florida. And I'm currently planning out the last, I'd say November, December, January, February, getting agents ready for a successful 2024. So pay attention to your emails, because I will be sending out invitations. I'm doing live events again throughout New England and throughout Florida, and would love to have you at one of those programs. Okay, other types of training on demand. So there's so much training at Lair. It's all available to any of you. Most of our really recent stuff we put on YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com/Lair training, please just subscribe to it so you don't miss stuff. If you subscribe, then when we add new training classes each week, you'll just get a little message saying a new class has been added. That way you can watch it whenever you want. Also, because we have hundreds and hundreds of classes, you can also go to our Lair University at www.lairuniversity.com, and you'll see thousands and thousands of hours, all segmented into different areas of the business, and sign up for classes there. If you go to Lair University, it does make you sign up, like you got to give your name and email address. And the only reason for that is because we're tracking just to see what agents like to watch so that we can provide more of that. But any agent can take advantage of that training. These are some cool additional tools. We've been building these out. For example, we've been putting together classes for the New England states and for Florida for newer agents on how to fill out the forms. So going through like buy side transaction, list side transaction, it's still being built out. But if you just want like a little tutorial on how to do a specific form, you can go there and find that. Also, please participate in our live events. Constantly doing live events. We've had live events with Tom Ferry. Just recently, we had him come out and do a live event in New England. Last year, end of last year or beginning of this year, we've partnered with New World Title and had him out for a live event in Florida as well. Participate in those events. Super proud every year. We like to put together our awards program. We invite everybody to our awards program. We think it's great to come out and be inspired by fellow agents. All I can say, in your business in general, whether you're a Lair agent or a non-Lair agent, the more you participate, the more you will accelerate. So we just see that if you look at the highest performing agents in the industry, typically they're going out to the National Association of Realtor events. They're participating in their local boards. They're participating in the training programs available at the brokerage level. They participate in networking events, the award programs. So if you want to accelerate in 2024, and that doesn't even mean that it has to just be real estate stuff. Like maybe if your board is doing like a night out at a ball field, it's just being around peers and listening to what other people are doing. It doesn't always have to be just a training event or a CE class. It drives me crazy when we offer a class sometimes and agents are like, does it have CE? Who cares if it has CE? Go out and learn something new for your business. Participate to accelerate. One of the things we're also super proud of at Lair, if you are a Lair agent, we do offer a phenomenal coaching program. This is for agents that need that extra level of support. This is really good if you are an agent that did less than $5 million in business last year and you want to be doing more than 5 million. So you're at 2 million or 1 million in sales or 3 million, and you really want to be doing 5 million plus in production, sign up for Lair Coaching, lairrealty.com/Lair Coaching. We wrote a phenomenal 12-month guide to building a real estate business. It's 250 pages. When you sign up for the program, we overnight the package to you. You have this huge book, and it's a workbook basically on how to build a successful business. We then put you into a group coaching program. The coaches are all high-performing agents. Why would they do that? Why would they coach? First of all, most high-performing agents love sharing with other agents, but also we pay them. We pay on behalf of the agents they're coaching. So Lair invests in you because we know that if you have that extra level of support for 6 months, that the live coaching sessions take place for 6 months and they're all focused around this 250-page booklet. We've already seen agents have drastic results from having that extra level of support. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, go to lairrealty.com/Lair Coaching. Okay, we're almost to the end of the program, but let's talk a little bit about support services. Okay, it's very interesting in our business because the success rate of agents is super low. You guys may not know this, but the national average is that 87% of people who get licensed to become real estate agents are no longer in the business 3 years later. That's staggering. Like almost 90% of people who are excited to jump into this new career are already out of the business 3 years later. In my opinion, that comes down to the brokerage that they end up with. If you don't end up with the support you need, it's really hard to get up and running. And what I mean by support is the training, the coaching, but also more importantly, that somebody's available to answer the questions that you have when you have the questions. Because while it's wonderful to take coaching programs and take training classes, really you don't know the help that you need until you're in the middle of a transaction. So we have built a phenomenal back-end support system called our Happy Agent system. It's basically our Lair Agent Services team. So if you're a Lair agent, first of all, let me talk for 2 minutes about email in general. I've now owned real estate brokerages for almost 24 years. I bought my first real estate company in 2000. I mentioned earlier, I was part of a franchise for 14 years and then started Lair almost 10 years ago. And for many of those years, we ran our support teams just like everybody else. Like when an agent would join our brokerage, we'd give them a list of all the people who work at the company. And here's what each person does. And if you need anything, call that person. And what we realized as we grew is that it was super inefficient for multiple reasons. Number one, the agent might call that person because they need help, and that staff member is not best suited to answer the question. So maybe the agent gets left hanging, or the staff member is out sick. And so now the agent has requested help, but the staff member who they reached out to is sick, so they're left hanging. In addition to that, traditional email, in my opinion, is one of the obstacles that we must deal with in life. I don't think traditional email is efficient whatsoever. So we don't want our staff members getting emails. Even I tell agents at my brokerage, if you need me, the best way to get me is not through my email. Because while I do occasionally check my email throughout the day, all day long, I'm on our Happy Agent Services dashboard. So the way agents get assistance at our company from dozens of our staff members is if you need anything, any support, you're stuck on a deal, you have a legal question, maybe you want help with designing a marketing piece for a magazine you're putting an ad in, really anything. Maybe you need help filling out a form. You email happyagent@lairrealty.com. That request comes into our backend Happy Agent dashboard so that we can then assign that request to whomever, whichever staff member is best suited to answer the question knowledgeably and quickly. And then as a brokerage, we can follow the trajectory of your request. It is all built so that agents cannot get lost. We do not want an agent needing assistance on something and not being able to get somebody to help them. Not only that, I can attest to the fact it's our back end agent services dashboard is so much more efficient than email. For example, I can tell you that I've been on this program today for the last few hours, and when I go into my email after I get off this program, I'll have thousands of emails. And typically, if you guys are like me, I mass delete. I quickly scan down to try to see if there's any human that I want to speak to, like one of my agents or agent from another brokerage. I quickly scan down And then at the top, I press the button and mass delete all of them except for the one that I wanted. The bad thing about that is every once in a while, I do mistakenly delete somebody I wanted to talk to. So somebody will say like, hey, I tried to email you and you didn't respond. I say, what? And then when I go in and look, I see that I had deleted it in my mass delete. That's not possible through the Happy Agent system because the system, when I log into the Happy Agent system, when I get off this call, any agents that have emailed into that system, it's going to have been assigned to me. So now it'll say, hey, you have 5 people waiting to hear from you. I don't have to go through a mass delete. So if you're a Lair agent, all I could tell you is anytime you need anything. And by the way, you're going to build great relationships at Lair. We have so many phenomenal staff members. You got to meet Len and Craig and Sergio today, and we have many more that you're going to meet. You're going to have great relationships, even if you're trying to reach them. Email happyagent@lairrealty.com. That way we can just make sure that they see it, that it's not getting lost in an email, and it just stays in their dashboard until they've helped you. That way we can make sure you get the support you need. Couple things I just want to mention about collecting, for example, escrow checks. We make it very easy to collect. If you are collecting an escrow check or a commission check on a transaction, of course, you could bring them to any office. But also, if you're a Lair agent, we have other ways. First of all, we could set you up on our mobile deposit system, so you don't have to go to an office to drop off a check. We also have Earnest and Deposit Link, which are 2 programs that you could just send links to a consumer to have them ACH withdraw funds right into our escrow account. As far as paying agents, if you've been at Lair for a while, you know we're really big on e-checks. We send you e-checks for cooperating checks, seller checks, and your commission checks. It's just a fast way to get agents paid. Another thing I want to just make sure you guys are aware of, in this book on page 33, if you're an agent that needs business, that you just have nothing in your pipeline right now and you want to get stuff coming in, go sign up for all these referral fee-based lead platforms. These are all companies that will refer you leads. They will take a referral fee, a hefty referral fee, for sending you those leads, but they don't charge anything. Generally, there's no upfront charge. So you only pay if you end up converting the customer. These are a great way to start to build your database. So put everybody you meet through these Opcity or all these different lead platforms into your database and be marketing to them regularly so that you have some extra ways of bringing in business each year. So on this page, all the companies on the left are referral fee-based lead platforms. That means that you sign up with each one, and if you close a transaction, you owe them a referral fee. The referral fees vary a little bit, so you have to look on each site to see what they charge, but it's typically 30 to 35%. On the other side, we have like subscription-based lead platforms. These are companies that say, hey, we'll give you leads, but we're going to charge you monthly. I'd stay away from those for the most part, only because you can go several months without converting anything and you have a big monthly nut to pay. Much better. I much prefer to see agents get into the referral fee-based lead platforms. One caveat I will say is, even if there is a wait on, some of these have waiting lists. And sometimes when agents see waiting lists, they're like, all right, I'm out, not going to wait on a waiting list because they think it's fake. But I see many agents who got on waiting lists for some of these companies that are now opening up because people are already exiting our business. Because of the changes in the market, agents are exiting. So for example, last year I did several webinars with Veterans United. This is a company that sends a lot of veteran leads to real estate agents. It's a coveted spot. Agents want to be on the Veterans United list. So I had them do several webinars last year for our agents, to the point that we filled all their spots. They had no more Veteran United spots. They had waiting lists. I'm now seeing, like 6 months later, many of those agents are now getting onto the Veterans United list. So don't stop if there's a waiting list. Paperwork, not your thing, no worries. We have a phenomenal in-house transaction coordinating team. These are for agents that are terrible at paperwork. If you hate paperwork, you can hire a transaction coordinator who gets introduced into the transaction as your assistant, basically. Once you have the deal under agreement, they kind of step in and take over from there. If you're interested in learning more about the transaction services, you can just email happyagent@lairrealty.com and we'll have one of them call and consult you. If you're a Lair agent, highly recommend you check out our committees. I always say, like, all the great things we have at our company are a byproduct of these committees. It's people volunteering. We're a company that absolutely will listen. So where we get information from is from the committees who are meeting, saying, this is the technology we need. This is the stuff we need to be successful. This is where we could improve. And then as an organization, that gets put onto our plan of what we work for in the future. You guys got to hear from Craig today, from our Lair sustainability team. He is our Chief Sustainability Officer. He's helped so many of our agents really embrace sustainability, especially in a market where NAR is saying you're going to do 30% less business this year than last year. Well, I don't think it's going to get easier in the coming year. So why not embrace new opportunities like sustainability and go learn how to be an expert at it, because there's still not many. But one day it's going to be like the minimum standard. You better know that if you want to be a real estate agent. But I do think there's still some time for agents to really become the experts in sustainability in their marketplace. I added this to our Lair program guide. It's super concerning to me that so many of the big companies are leaving the National Association of Realtors right now. It's concerning to me because, first of all, I understand there was sexual harassment. I get it. It's a terrible thing. Bad things happen in all different organizations and companies. I think what has happened with the sexual harassment charges at the top of NAR, I think that's an opportunity for them to get better at their vetting processes and stuff like that. I think it's an opportunity. That does not take away all the wonderful things that the National Association of Realtors does for our industry. What is the most wonderful thing that the National Association of Realtors does for our industry is gives us our industry. So I cannot stress enough, look at the very bottom, the little pictures at the bottom of this page. Where did the yellow taxis go? Where did the travel agencies go? Where have hotels gone? I mean, we're seeing less and less. In Massachusetts, hotels are being turned into homeless shelters because of Airbnb. Where did landlines go? So if you think about all these industries out there, what none of those organizations or industries had was a lobbying arm that protected the industry in general. And so when I get agents, even at our own, we are a realtor organization. And when I get agents who come and say, well, I don't want to pay the $600. What I say is that $600 is the guarantee that you'll still have a business in 5 years and 10 years and 20 years. So you should probably pay the $600 it costs to be a realtor. Beyond that, if you actually use the tools, you get $600 worth of value out of being a realtor. I always say RPR, the Realtor Property Resource, which we didn't have time to cover today, but it has a phenomenal valuation tool for both commercial and residential real estate, by the way. It does a unbelievable valuation. In my opinion, the 600, that tool is worth $600. I think it means something to be a realtor, and that's why I've put it into, I started this book when you guys saw the very beginning, the first couple of pages. I said, I want to start with the importance to us of being independent, because being an independent real estate company, we're like a species that's becoming extinct, actually. Everybody's teaming up with these big franchise. I was part of a franchise, and I will never, ever, ever go back to being part of a franchise. I think independence is a state of mind. So I started this booklet, the Lair Program and Services Guide, right at the beginning by saying, like, independent, being an independent real estate brokerage is who we are at our core. It's a way of thinking. It's who we are. It's being an individual. And as we close out and get to the end of our manual here, I want to talk about why it's so important to also, while we embrace our independence, but be part of something as well. And I do think what we are truly part of is an organization that helps us raise the bar for our industry. So while it's super interesting because we're a large brokerage in New England, I got so many like newspapers that wanted to speak to me about the stuff that was happening at NAR. And I said, I'm not commenting. I think it's terrible what happened, but I think it's really an opportunity for the organization to just get better. And it does not begrudge all of the hard work by the thousands of employees that make the National Association of Realtors so important to everything that our agents are doing in the marketplace. With that, we're right at the end of the program. By the way, you can go watch the recorded version of our boot camp after the program. If you've already subscribed to our YouTube station, you'll get notification as soon as Sergio uploads today's program, but we always put the most recent version of our boot camp on there. And then finally, we're at the very end. Couple things I want to say, because I know we have a lot of agents that participate every month in the Lair Bootcamp who are not Lair agents. So first of all, thank you to everybody that spent 3 hours on a Zoom. I mean, that's a challenge. So thank you to everybody that spent 3 hours with us on a Zoom today. That is definitely not easy. I want you to think about the 5 things that you're going to go execute on, and then focus on those 5 things, and then come back and watch the YouTube, or come back next month. We are here at the same time, first Friday of every month from 9 to noon, where we go through these tools again. Now, if you are not a Lair agent and you're interested in learning more about Lair, I would love to talk to you. Even if we don't currently have a Lair location in your marketplace, we're opening everywhere. We have a Lakes Region office in New Hampshire that we're in the process of opening. We have additional offices in Florida, and we are working hard to open offices in some of the New England territories where we don't yet have offices, like Rhode Island and Connecticut, Vermont. So even if these are all our office locations, but even if there's not one near you, I'd still love to have the conversation, because we want to be in your backyard wherever you are. If you're interested in having a conversation about Lair, please just email me, Stacy Alcorn, at happyagent@lairrealty.com. I'll get the message immediately and I'll reach out and we could schedule time to chat. And with that, I want to say thank you to Sergio, Len, and Craig. I think this is a record for us. We got off 7 minutes early today. So I want to thank you guys and want to thank everybody for joining. Oh, Sergio, we got a helper today. Our assistant's in today. Who's this? Who's the assistant?
That's Una. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
nice to meet
Hi.
you. All right, awesome, everybody. Have a great long weekend. Nice talking to everybody today. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.